All right. The name is Dale, doing a new album review for Benny the Butcher Tana Talk 4. This album review is done on behalf of Audio Liquor. All right, to my surprise, Benny dropped his first project in 2004. That was very surprising. I didn't know he's been putting out music that long, not even nearly that long. He didn't come to my conscious and probably to most hip hop heads awareness until like maybe 5-6 years ago. So I had no idea he'd been putting out music that long. And his first project happened to be Tana Talk, the very first Tana Talk, which was considered a mixtape then. And he has a ton of mixtapes. I haven't heard like most of them, to be honest with you. And I never heard the first Tana Talk or the second Tana Talk. I do have the third one, which was a very solid album. And on this new Tana Talk 4 album, I like everything on this album. All 12 tracks I like. And for me, that's saying a lot, because even the best albums, I don't usually like everything. It might, like some of the best albums, it might be like 1 or 2 joints that I can't fully get with or fully appreciate, or they're just okay, and I tend to skip them. But this is an album I let play from beginning to end, and that's rare for me. And the first song on the album, to my surprise again, is Johnny P's Caddy. Now, the reason why I said I'm surprised by this, because this was actually his first single, if you want to label it a single in this playlist era that we in. But this is the first song to kick off the, I guess you say, marketing, or to get people buzzing about this album. Now, he actually dropped it like a month before the album dropped, maybe a little longer than a month before the album dropped. And it's featuring J. Cole, and it's produced by The Alchemist. Both go in, but especially J. Cole. His whole verse is a monster, but he got lines like, "I'm trying to revive the sport that's dying, but the guns and drug bars that y'all relying got these nerds thinking that you niggas hard as I am, but I just mean I ain't comfortable with lying." Something to that effect. I didn't say it verbatim, but you get the gist. He goes in. Second track is called Back to Back, featuring Stove the God Cooks. And it's produced by Derringer and Beat Butcher. Benny got lines like "Reconnect like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice." I thought that was slick in the context of his verse. And Stove drops a verse and he does the hook. He got another track called Super Plug, produced by The Alchemist. That's a nice joint. Got another song called Weekends in the Prairies, featuring Bodie James, produced by The Alchemist. Some soulful street shit. Now, Bodie James, on a side note, his 2 albums, the last 2 albums that he dropped, which was last year, he dropped Bo Jackson with The Alchemist. They did an album together. And then he dropped Tecmo Bowl the beginning of this year, I believe. I think it was the very beginning of this year, or maybe the very end of last year. But I had all intentions to review both of those albums. For some reason or another, I never got around to doing it. But if you don't have them joints or never heard them, check them out. They are high quality albums. I dig them. You know, they in like the B and B plus range of grade for me. So moving on, the next track is called 10 More Commandments. It's kind of a play and influenced by the old Biggie joint, the 10 Crack Commandments. Now this joint is featuring Diddy, which is fitting. Surprised he was able to get Diddy on this joint, and it's produced by Derringer and the Beat Butcher. It's a bang, I dig it. Then you got another song called Tyson versus Ali, featuring Conway the Machine, produced by the Derringer. another banger. Got another song called Uncle Bun. It's featuring 38 Special, produced by Derringer. Another nice joint. 38 Special goes in. I like how he rhyming on this joint. Then you got another track called, I believe it's called Those Revenge. Those Revenge, I believe that's what it's called. I might be butchering the first part of that title, but it's produced by The Alchemist. Love the horns on the track. Production is real nice on this. One of my favorites on the album. Then you got another track called Billy Joe, produced by The Alchemist. Benny has lines like, nobody cried when they kill Alpo. I thought that was a little surprising and shocking he dropped that shit. Another one I like, of course, because I like everything. And there's another track called Guerrero. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it's featuring Westside Gunn, produced by the Derringer and Beat Butcher. Another banger. Love the production on the joint. Westside Gunn's style and flow fits the track. I admit I'm not the biggest fan of Westside Gunn's voice, but it works for this song. Then you got another track called Bust a Brick Nick, produced by The Alchemist. It's head nod, ugly face music. I dig it. Then you got another track called Mr. Child Hall, produced by The Alchemist. It's a nice one verse track to end the whole album off. This is a very strong album. I would say this is the best album of this year so far, and I'm not including Nas Magic because I believe that album dropped at the very end of last year, so I'm not even going to include Nas Magic in that discussion. So for now, I know it's early, still early, we're only like 3 months in, but Benny the Butcher's Tana Talk 4 is the best album so far in this short 3 months so far this year. And for those who I'm gonna talk about his content, he his drug talk, his hustling shit, his street shit at his finest. He's good at the drug talk. He's like getting up there with the Pusha T's, and he's probably like, him and Freddie Gibbs are like moving up that street hustler talk level where they getting up to, like Jay-Z's probably at the very top of that hustler talk shit, and then you got like people like Pusha T, but Benny and Freddie are moving up. They moving up the ladder, so to speak. And the production, it reminds me of some vintage Mobb Deep shit, like some 90s Mobb Deep shit. It has that feel to it, and I appreciate that. It works, and I highly recommend it. I would give this album, I'm gonna give this album an A-. I was thinking, is it a B+ or is it an A-? I'm gonna give it an A-. How could I not if I'm saying I like everything on there? So shameless plug, I gotta do it. Me and my folks Charles have an album out together. It's on all streaming platforms. We go by Charles and the Ugly Professor. I am the Ugly Professor. The name of the album is called Force Multipliers. And Charles is on the mic, I'm on the production. It's crazy, cool, ugly face music. I highly recommend it. I would say our album is the best album so far this year, but of course I'm gonna think highly of something I was a part of. But anyway, if I'm saying that, you should go get it. That should give you more motivation to go find it online and see if I'm telling the truth. So I'm done, I'm finished, I'm out, and there you have it.